The bloody handprint on the mirror. The Johnson family had lived in the old Victorian house for nearly a year. The creaky floorboards and the smell of musty wood became familiar, comforting even, but there were nights. Nights when something felt off. That it was late one night when Anna first noticed it. She was alone in the house, finishing up the dishes, the soft hum of the refrigerator the only sound in the kitchen. Then a whisper echoed through the air. She froze, turning her head sharply. Toward the hallway. Nothing. Probably the wind, she whispered to herself, trying to shake off the unease creeping over her. But then came the sound again. This time it was clearer. Anna, her heart skipped. She turned and walked toward the bathroom, her footsteps heavy against the wooden floor. The door was slightly cracked open, steam rolling out. The mirror, fogged. Over from the hot shower she assumed was the cause. Had something else on it, a bloody handprint, red, fresh, jagged lines like claws. Smeared across the glass dot, her breath caught in her throat. She stepped closer, heart thudding in her chest. The handprint was unmistakable. It wasn't some trick of the light. It was real. For a moment, Anna stood frozen, staring at the eerie mark. The faint metallic smell in the air grew stronger, like old blood. Her mind raced. Could it be a prank? Had one of her parents done it? No, she hadn't heard anyone. The house was still. Mom? Dad? Her voice trembled as she called out, but there was no answer. Her parents were asleep, unaware of the strange occurrence. Desperate, Anna grabbed a towel and tried to wipe the handprint away, but as she rubbed, it didn't disappear. It only seemed to spread. The red stains deepened, and no matter how hard she scrubbed it, the handprint remained. Her hands were shaking now, panic rising in her chest. She backed away, eyes locked on the mirror. A soft hiss of steam filled the air again, as if something was breathing. And then, in the fog that had formed across the mirror, words began to appear, etched in a jagged, uneven scrawl. Let me in. Anna's. Breath hitched, her hands trembling as she stared at the message. She stumbled backward, her mind spinning. Her heart pounded in her ears as she ran out of the bathroom. Slamming the door behind her, she sprinted through the house to her parents' bedroom, banging on the door, her voice strangled with fear. Mom, Dad, they awoke, startled, confused. What's wrong, Anna? Her mother asked gradually. I saw something. There's something in the bathroom, Anna stammered, trying to catch her breath. Her father sighed, rubbing his eyes. It's probably just your imagination, sweetheart. Maybe you're tired. Go back to bed. Anna wanted to argue, but she was already exhausted, her mind racing, unsure if what she saw was real. She reluctantly returned to her room, trying to sleep, but the memory of the handprint haunted her. Morning came, but the fear didn't fade. Her parents shrugged it off, calling it a trick of the light or a dream. But that night, it came back. This time, Anna woke to a low, creaking sound. It wasn't the house settling. It was something else. Something deliberate. She sat up in bed, her heart pounding in the dark. The air was cold, far colder than it should have been. Then she heard the whisper again, but this time it wasn't from the bathroom. It was closer. Anna, help me. Her skin prickled with fear as she slowly turned her head toward the wall opposite her bed. There, in the shadowy dim light, was the handprint. But it wasn't on the mirror anymore. It was on the wall. Red, smeared, and jagged, as if someone had pressed their hand against it from the other side. Their fingers stretched wide in a desperate plea. She screamed, but no sound came out. She scrambled from her bed, running for her parents' room, but the house was eerily silent. The only sound was her breathing, ragged and shallow. The moment she reached her parents' door, she froze. Her mother and father were lying still, their faces pale, their body's cold dot, and then in the corner of the room she saw it, a shadow thin, dark and shifting, moving as though it was alive, watching her. Its hollow eyes seemed to burn into her soul. "Please, Anna," the voice whispered again. "Let me in." Anna backed away, her heart slamming against her chest. She turned to run, but before she could take a step, the shadow reached out. Her skin, tingled with an icy coldness that seemed to go straight to her bones. And then the darkness engulfed her as dawn broke over the horizon. The Johnsons' house stood silent once again, but Anna's room was empty. The mirror in the bathroom was clear and marked. The walls were pristine. But deep within the house, something still lingered, waiting, real or hoax. You decide. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a like, share, and comment, as it's really helped the channel grow.